Hey everyone, and welcome back to Becoming Ultimate Masters.
It's awesome to be here.
Today we're going to do something kind of crazy.
Oh,
Yeah, we're going to try to blow your mind
all right.
by
Yeah.
exploring the power of your mind
Okay.
to actually shape your body.
Whoa.
And we're going way back in time for this one.
Oh, really?
To 1908.
Wow, that's old school.
To a book called A Common Sense View of the Mind Cure by Laura M. Westall.
I've heard of it.
Now, even though this book is over a century old,
Yeah.
the ideas inside are so relevant.
To our lives today.
I mean, they can seriously transform how you see the world.
Definitely.
So if you're ready to unlock the incredible power of your own mind,
Let's do it.
then stick around. Because this deep dive is about to get super interesting.
I'm ready.
And don't forget to share this episode with your friends and family.
Yeah. Spread the knowledge.
Okay, so for a long time,
Yeah.
people thought the mind and body were totally separate.
Right. Like two completely different things.
But nowadays, we know better,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah. We've come a long way.
So how do we understand that connection now?
Well, modern psychology has helped us see that the brain is the organ of the mind.
Okay, so it's like the physical part of our mind.
Exactly. And the nervous system is the link between the mind and the outside world.
So that's how our thoughts and feelings connect to our body and actions?
That's right. And what's really cool is that your mind isn't fixed or static.
It's not.
No, it's constantly evolving based on your experiences.
So it's like our minds are always under construction,
Exactly like building a house.
brick by brick.
You got it. A strong mind needs quality materials and a good plan.
So in this case, those materials are,
Your thoughts and experiences,
and the plan is,
how you organize them.
so every experience we have, every book we read, every conversation.
They're all building blocks for your mind.
Wow, so our senses are pretty important then,
Absolutely. Your senses are constantly taking in information from the world
sending it to the brain.
and helping you make sense of it all.
So where does the brain itself fit into all of this?
Well, the brain is like the engine of your being.
Okay, I like that.
Think of it like the engine in a car.
Okay,
It needs fuel to create energy and make the car move.
so what's the fuel for our brains?
Your thoughts and ideas.
Wait, so you're telling me that what I think can actually affect my body?
Absolutely. Your thoughts have a physical impact on your actions and well-being.
That's incredible. Can you tell us a bit more about how the brain works?
Sure. Your brain is incredibly complex with different areas that do different things.
Okay, like what?
You have areas for perception movement, even higher level thinking and problem solving.
It's like a high-tech control center.
It really is coordinating everything you do.
But how does information get from the brain to the rest of the body?
That's where the nervous system comes in.
Okay.
It's a massive communication network connecting your brain to every part of your body.
It's like our own internal internet.
Exactly, constantly sending messages back and forth.
But how does it keep everything organized with millions of signals firing all the time?
Well, you have different types of nerves with specific jobs.
Oh, okay.
You have motor nerves, which tell your muscles how to move.
So those are like the messengers.
Exactly. Then you have sensory nerves.
What do they do?
They're like reporters sending information from your senses back to your brain.
So they're keeping the brain updated on what's going on.
Right. And then there are these amazing sympathetic nerves.
I've heard of those.
They control all those automatic functions you don't have to think about.
Like breathing,
Yep, digestion, heartbeat.
all those things that keep us alive
Exactly. And the nervous system regulates all these functions,
based on messages from the brain.
keeping everything running smoothly.
So we're like a complex, interconnected system.
Precisely every part working together.
But what about our emotions?
Oh, that's where things get really interesting.
How so?
Because your emotions aren't just feelings in your head.
They're not.
They have a direct impact on your physical well-being.
You mean like how I feel can actually affect my body?
Absolutely. Negative emotions like anger, fear, and worry can actually drain your energy.
And make you more vulnerable to getting sick?
Exactly. It's like running your engine on low-grade fuel.
Makes sense.
Huh?
I definitely feel physically drained when I'm stressed.
That's your body telling you something.
So what can we do about it?
Well, on the flip side, positive emotions like joy, contentment, hope,
They can actually boost our energy.
and make us more resilient.
It's like giving our engine premium fuel.
Precisely so. Choosing to focus on positive emotions can really impact your health.
That's amazing. But emotions can be so powerful. How do we control them?
It starts with awareness
Awareness of what?
of how you're feeling and what triggers those feelings.
Okay, so the more aware we are,
The more power you have to choose how you respond.
so we're not just slaves to our emotions
Not at all. You can learn to manage them.
and use them to our advantage.
Exactly. It takes practice, but it's definitely possible.
Okay, so emotions are powerful, but what about imagination?
Oh, imagination is one of the most powerful tools we have. Remember how we talked about thinking in pictures?
Yeah.
Well, those mental images you create can have a huge effect on your body.
Wow, are you serious? Could you give me an example?
Sure, imagine biting into a juicy lemon.
Okay,
Picture its bright yellow color, its smooth skin.
I'm picturing it.
Now imagine cutting into it, feel the juice squirting on your fingers, smell its tart aroma.
Okay.
What's happening in your mouth right now?
My mouth is actually watering.
Exactly, your body is responding to the image you created in your mind.
That's wild.
That's the power of imagination.
So it's like our imagination is a bridge between our thoughts and reality.
That's a great way to put it.
But can imagination work against us too
Definitely fear can distort our mental pictures.
and cause anxiety and suffering?
Exactly. So we need to use our imagination wisely.
Focus on positive, empowering images.
You got it.
So now that we've talked about emotions and imagination,
Yeah.
what about attention,
Attention. That's another powerful tool.
especially when it comes to healing? Wait, are you saying that I can actually influence my body just by focusing my attention on a specific part?
You absolutely can.
Yeah.
When you focus your attention, you're sending mental energy to that part of your body.
Okay.
This can stimulate nerves, improve blood flow, even promote healing.
It's like shining a spotlight on that area and giving it a boost.
Precisely.
But what if I focus on pain? Will that make it worse?
Dwelling on pain can amplify those negative sensations.
Oh, so I should try to focus on positive sensations.
Exactly, like warmth or relaxation.
You're telling me I have more control over my experience than I thought?
You absolutely do.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
We've talked about how powerful our thoughts are,
Yeah.
how our brains and nervous systems play a role in all of this.
Right.
We even touched on how emotions and imagination can impact our well-being.
It's all connected.
But before we go any further, I want to encourage everyone listening
Yes.
to share this episode with your friends and family.
Spread the knowledge.
Because this information has the potential to transform lives.
Absolutely.
And if you're ready to take your personal growth journey to the next level,
We have some incredible resources available.
just visit www.ultimatemasters.org/coaching.
Or send a message to +2 567 713 24119 on WhatsApp.
To learn more about our personalized coaching programs.
We're here to support you every step of the way.
Now let's take a quick break.
Sounds good.
And when we come back, we'll dive even deeper into the power of your mind.
Can't wait.
So stay tuned.
We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everyone.
It's great to be back.
As we continue to unlock the secrets of your incredible mind,
I'm so ready to dive back in.
last time we talked about how powerful our thoughts are
Yeah, it's mind-blowing.
and how our brains and nervous systems play a role in all of this.
Right.
We even touched on how emotions and imagination can impact our physical well-being.
It's all connected.
Now, I'm curious to explore this idea of the environment a bit more.
Okay, yeah. How do our surroundings play into this whole mind-body connection?
That's a great question. We've been focusing on how the mind influences the body,
Right.
but it's important to remember that we live in a physical world that influences us too.
So it's like a two-way street.
Exactly, it's a give and take.
Okay, so how does that work?
Think of it like this. You're a plant,
A plant.
and your environment is like the soil, water, and sunlight you need to thrive.
Okay, I like that analogy.
So we need certain things in our environment to survive and grow.
what are those essential elements for us humans?
Well, just like a plant needs good soil, clean water, and sunlight,
Okay.
we need things like clean air, pure water, nutritious food, and shelter to keep our bodies healthy.
Those are the basics.
Exactly the building blocks of life.
And just like a plant wilts without enough water.
We can get sick if we're not getting the nutrients and resources we need from our surroundings.
Makes sense.
Now, here's where the mental side comes in.
Okay.
Even if you have access to all the right physical elements,
Yeah.
your mental reaction to your environment can make a huge difference.
Oh, so you're saying that two people could be in the exact same environment,
Exactly.
but their experience could be totally different depending on how they're thinking and feeling.
Absolutely. Imagine two people walking through a beautiful forest.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
One person is totally present, noticing the beauty of the trees, the sounds of nature, the fresh air.
Sounds peaceful.
They're feeling grateful and peaceful.
Yeah.
The other person is worried about getting lost, annoyed by the bugs, and stressed about getting back on time.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
Who do you think is going to have a more positive experience?
Definitely the person who's focusing on the good stuff.
Exactly.
But honestly, it's not always easy to choose those positive thoughts,
I agree.
especially if we're in a stressful or challenging environment.
That's true. It's like any skill training your mind to be more resilient takes practice,
So the more we focus on the good,
even when things are tough.
the stronger our minds become.
That's the idea.
Okay, so this whole idea of mind over matter is really powerful.
It is.
But we're not saying that we can just think our way out of any situation, right?
Of course not. We're not superhuman.
Right.
We can't just magically wish away an illness or change our circumstances.
So it's more about using our minds to make the best of any situation.
Exactly. Working with the power of our minds to navigate the challenges of life.
I like that.
Now let's dive into some fascinating insights from Laura M. Westall's book
Okay.
about how people have used the power of the mind to heal throughout history.
Oh, this is where it gets really intriguing.
It is.
We're talking about mind cure, right?
We are.
Is that like hypnosis or something?
Well, mind cure has taken many forms throughout history,
Exactly.
from ancient healing practices to more modern approaches.
Interesting.
Westall mentions a whole range of examples from ancient Egyptian priests to Hebrew prophets.
Wow, that's a wide range.
There's even a section about the use of metallic tractors in England back in the day.
Metallic tractors, what are those?
They were these little metal rods that people believed could draw out disease from the body.
Oh, wow.
It sounds strange now,
It does.
but it shows how people were already exploring the connection between metal energy and healing centuries ago.
That's fascinating. So what are some of the common threads that run through all these different approaches to mind cure?
Good question. The most important factor in all these cases is a shift in mentality.
A shift in mentality.
It's about changing the way people think and feel,
Okay.
whether it's through belief suggestion or even just using their imagination.
So it's like a mental transformation.
Precisely. The common denominator is a transformation in their mental state.
So if someone truly believes they're going to be healed,
Yeah.
that belief itself can help trigger a healing response.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
Of course we have to be realistic.
Right.
Not every illness can be cured simply by changing your thoughts
It's important to be grounded.
and understand that there are limitations.
But it seems like the mind's influence on healing shouldn't be underestimated.
Exactly. Westall makes a really interesting point about disease having a mental element.
Okay.
She acknowledges that illnesses can definitely have physical causes.
Like germs or environmental factors.
Right. But she argues that the mind always plays a role in how we experience and cope with illness.
So even if an illness has a physical origin, our thoughts and beliefs can influence how it shows up and how well we recover.
That's what she's suggesting.
That's powerful.
Now, when it comes to practical mind cure, Westall proposes a two-pronged approach.
Okay, two-pronged. Let's hear it.
First, she emphasizes the importance of reforming your mode of thought.
So basically cleaning up those negative thought patterns
Exactly.
and cultivating a more positive and hopeful outlook.
You got it. And she suggests several ways to do this.
Oh, quite.
Like using affirmations, harnessing the power of imagination, and even finding spiritual comfort through prayer.
So we can actually use our minds to create a more healing mental environment for ourselves.
Exactly, but she doesn't stop there.
Oh, there's more.
The second part of her approach involves building up the brain itself.
Hold on, building up the brain. How do we do that?
Well, Westall stresses the importance of giving the brain the rest and nourishment it needs.
Okay.
She talks about relaxation, getting enough sleep, and practicing deep breathing to oxygenate the brain and increase vitality.
So just like we nourish our bodies with healthy food, we need to nourish our brains with rest oxygen and positive mental stimulation.
Exactly. And she even suggests techniques for directing mental energy to specific parts of the body.
Oh, like that mental spotlight we talked about earlier.
You got it. Almost like you're shining that spotlight on a particular area to improve circulation and promote healing.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. So it's not just about thinking positive thoughts. It's also about taking care of our brains on a physical level.
Absolutely. And this is where she makes a crucial point about the importance of working with a skilled physician.
So we're not saying that mind cure should replace traditional medicine.
Not at all. Westall actually advocates for a collaborative approach. She believes that the power of the mind can work hand in hand with medical treatments to enhance their effectiveness.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about using the best of both worlds for optimal healing.
Exactly. And she also highlights something really interesting.
What's that?
The powerful influence of other people's minds on our own.
Oh, okay. So we're talking about the power of suggestion.
Yes.
and how other people's words and beliefs can impact us.
Precisely. Have you ever noticed how someone's positive words or encouragement can instantly lift your spirits and make you feel better?
Oh yeah, for sure. A simple compliment or a word of support can totally shift my mood.
Exactly. And on the flip side, negative comments or discouragement can drag us down.
So we have to be mindful of the company we keep and the messages we allow into our minds.
That's a great takeaway. Ultimately, Westall believes that the key to unlocking the power of the mind is self-mastery.
So it's about taking control of our thoughts, emotions, and actions.
Exactly, becoming the drivers of our own minds
Yeah.
rather than letting our minds drive us.
That's a powerful image.
And she encourages readers to embrace the journey of self-discovery and personal growth.
It's a lifelong adventure.
It is.
I love that it's empowering to know that we have the potential to heal and transform our lives by harnessing the incredible power within us.
Absolutely. Now, before we delve into some practical techniques that Westall suggests for specific ailments,
Sorry.
let's take a quick recap of the key points we've covered so far.
Sounds good.
So we talked about the importance of our environment
Yeah.
and how our surroundings can impact both our physical and mental health.
Right.
We explored the fascinating history of mind cure
Yeah, all those different approaches.
and how people have been using the power of thought for healing for centuries.
It's amazing.
And we emphasized the importance of a two-pronged approach to mind cure.
Right, focusing on both transforming our thoughts and taking care of our brains.
Exactly.
And we touched on the importance of working with a skilled physician
Yes.
and the powerful influence of other people's minds on our own.
Excellent. Now, are you ready to dive into some specific examples of how Westall suggests using mind cure for common ailments?
I'm all ears. This is the part I've been waiting for.
Mm.
Okay, so let's talk about how we can actually use these ideas.
Right, let's get practical.
How can we use the power of our minds to deal with everyday health issues?
Well, Westall offers some fascinating techniques,
Okay.
but it's important to remember these are just examples from her book.
Right.
It's always best to talk to a healthcare professional for any health concerns.
Absolutely. So always consult with your doctor or a trusted healthcare provider.
Right.
So what kind of things can we try?
Well, let's start with something many of us experience.
Okay.
Headaches.
Ugh, yeah, those are the worst.
Westall suggests a combination of physical relaxation and mental focus to address headaches.
Especially those tension headaches or ones from feeling overwhelmed.
Exactly.
So how do we do that?
She recommends lying down with your feet elevated,
Okay.
taking those deep calming breaths we talked about.
Yeah, those are good.
And then visualize the blood flowing away from your head.
So we're using our imagination to ease the pressure.
Exactly. It's like you're guiding the blood flow with your mind.
Wow, that's interesting.
She emphasizes consistency and patience, though,
Okay.
because it might take time for these techniques to really work.
Makes sense. What about something like constipation?
Yeah, yes. Not the most glamorous topic.
But a lot of people struggle with it.
You're right. It's very common.
So what does Westall suggest for that?
She recommends concentrating your attention on your bowels,
Okay.
placing your hands on your abdomen,
Okay.
and visualizing the nerves being stimulated and those muscles working to eliminate waste.
It's like we're encouraging our bodies to do what they're supposed to do.
Precisely. And of course, establishing a regular routine and drinking plenty of water are key.
Right, those healthy habits are important.
Now, what about colds?
Oh, those always seem to pop up at the worst times.
They do.
Any mind power strategies for those?
Well, Westall points out that colds often hit us when our defenses are down.
Like when we're stressed or haven't been sleeping well.
Exactly. She recommends taking deep breaths, visualizing your body fighting off the cold,
Okay.
and even using your willpower to resist those pesky symptoms.
So it's like we're giving our immune system a boost.
That's the idea, and don't forget about rest, hydration, and maybe taking it easy on the food.
Right, giving your body the support it needs.
Now let's talk about something a bit more persistent.
Okay.
Catarrh.
Catarrh. That's the inflammation of the mucous membranes, right?
Yes, it can be really uncomfortable.
So what can we do about that?
Westall suggests a combination of medical treatment and those mind-body techniques we've been discussing.
Okay.
Deep breathing exercises, visualizing those membranes becoming healthy and clear,
Okay.
and focusing on boosting your overall vitality can all be helpful.
It's amazing how much power we have to influence our well-being
It really is.
just by changing our thoughts and using our imagination.
Exactly.
What about nervousness and exhaustion?
Those are big ones these days.
Especially for students who are always juggling so much.
Absolutely. Westall's advice for those feeling frazzled is all about prioritizing rest.
But yeah.
giving your nervous system a break.
So like hitting the pause button.
Exactly. Getting enough sleep, spending time in nature, practicing relaxation techniques.
Those are all important.
And you can use mental imagery to help this process along.
How so?
Visualize your brain being revitalized and your nervous system becoming calm and balanced.
That sounds so relaxing.
It is.
Okay, what about indigestion?
Indigestion often goes hand in hand with stress.
Yeah, I feel that.
Westall recommends cultivating a positive mindset,
Okay.
avoiding overeating and slowing down to savor your meals.
Being mindful about eating.
Exactly. She even suggests focusing your attention on your stomach,
Okay.
visualizing it working effectively,
Okay.
and using affirmations to support its ability to digest properly.
I never thought of using affirmations for digestion, but it makes sense.
It's all about working with your body.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot of common issues. But what about more serious conditions, like rheumatism or neuralgia?
Those can be incredibly challenging.
What does Westall suggest for those?
She acknowledges how tough those conditions can be.
Yeah.
And she suggests combining medical treatment with mental strategies for pain management.
So it's not about ignoring the pain,
Oh,
but about finding ways to cope.
exactly. She encourages developing courage and resilience in the face of pain,
Bro.
and using tools like deep breathing visualization and suggestion to help shift your experience of pain.
It's about changing our relationship to the pain.
Precisely.
This is all so fascinating.
It is.
It's making me realize that we have so much more control over our health than we think.
We really do.
So what are some of the key takeaways you want our listeners to remember?
I think the most important thing is to remember that your mind and body are constantly talking to each other.
They're always communicating.
And your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions have a huge impact on your physical well-being.
So we're not just victims of our circumstances.
Not at all. You have the power to actively shape your health.
That's empowering.
It is cultivate a positive mindset, practice relaxation techniques, nourish your brain, and use the power of your imagination.
And don't be afraid to seek help from healthcare professionals.
Exactly. Work together with your doctor to find what works best for you.
This has been an incredible deep dive.
It
I
has.
feel like I've learned so much.
Me too.
And I want to thank you for sharing your insights with us.
It's been my pleasure.
And for everyone listening,
Yeah.
if you're ready to take your personal growth to the next level,
We have some fantastic resources available.
just visit www.ultimatemasters.org/coaching.
Or send a message to +2 567 713 24119 on WhatsApp.
to learn more about our personalized coaching programs.
We're here to support you every step of the way.
Thanks for joining us on this journey into the power of the mind.
It's been a great adventure.
Remember to tune in daily for more insightful episodes.
And don't forget to share this episode with anyone who might benefit from these ideas.
Until next time, keep those minds sharp and those spirits high.